Hotfix. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be another episode of Reforge Gaming News discussing the Malenia bug fix. It has been pushed out in a hotfix, as well as some other bugs from the latest patch that we covered. We wanted to make this a very, very quick sort of live stream response and update and get you the information. Not really a planned stream. We kind of threw this one together. I was streaming this morning. If you missed the VOD, check it. The PlayStation Plus update, whether they're putting ads in games like Xbox, forcing developers to do demos and trials, what exactly does that mean, as well as the comparison to the Xbox Game Pass. I'm going to go ahead and end this morning's stream and bring people over with the redirect. We appreciate everybody watching that stream this morning. We had a great conversation. We had a really lively debate comparing it to what Microsoft does and looking at just some of the takes that are out there. Some of them were, some of the ones we saw on Twitter were pretty bad. So, let me pull open the chat for the people that are here, and let me give you the goods. If you're watching this as a VOD, you're like usually used to me jumping right into the goods right at the beginning. I'm not really in a position to do that because this one got kind of dropped in our lap today. So I'm going to pull open, first and foremost, I'm going to pull open the patch notes about it from Elden Ring themselves on their website, and then we'll take a look at a couple of the articles that are available. That way, you'll have everything that you need right here at the start of the video. So, Elden Ring Update Notes 1.04. So, they've pushed this out. This was posted and updated, I think, late yesterday. So, now it is app version 1.04.1, regulation version 1.04.2. All right. So, what are we looking at here? Right here are the bug fixes, okay? Major changes include in the latest update. Fixed a bug in which the effect duration of the cerulean hidden tear or tier was revised downward. Fixed a bug with Malenia, Blade of Miquella. I don't know how to say the second one. I remembered how to say Malenia, though, in which her HP was not healed correctly in the online multiplayer environment. So many people were saying that this was just lag, it wasn't a bug, you know, it was desync. That's likely true, but there was something that was causing it, and they have rectified that. So this was, in fact, a bug. That's what they're labeling it. They're labeling it a bug, and it has been fixed. They fixed a bug that caused some bosses to die at unintended times. This was like when they were dying in their cutscenes. That has also been fixed. That was reported to me the day that patch went live. Fixed a bug that prevented the boss Elden Beast from working properly under certain circumstances, and fixed some text. Now, we've got other articles here about this. Holy moly. We got one from Games Radar here, saying that the following: a new Elden Ring update has restored Malenia's lifesteal ability to working as intended. Earlier today, Elden Ring update 1.04.1 was pushed live on all platforms. Chief among the changes was a note about Malenia, the boss encounter, namely that the new patch has fixed the issue. This comes off the back of the error which was first noticed last week. Players reported the lifestealing hacks were taking effect even when they successfully dodged the attacks. This was only typically happening on the non-host player. The error appears to have come from players cooperating to take down Malenia together. Now players can go venturing into Malenia's account. Okay, so there's not much here. That we already read this. I was wondering if we wait. I have that disabled for Game Rant. Hang on a minute. I've disabled that for all these websites that I use. Yeah, it's disabled. Let me refresh. I turn off ad block on all these sites that I use. There it is. Now it's working. I do. I turn it off on all these sites that we use. If I'm going to use Insight sources and all that, it's fine. I'll let the ads pop up. Elden Ring releases new hotfix to patch Malenia. Malenia, one of Elden Ring's most recognizable bosses, receives a fix. Okay, plenty of gamers, blah, blah, blah. The most recent fab fix this. First it dealt with the bug. Oh, right here. First, it dealt with a bug that saw players having to hit illusory walls 50 or so times before they could pass through them. The patch also fixed a problem with bleed dogs, which were dishing out an absurd amount of damage. So they're recapping what the patch did. If you missed our patch coverage, we covered that in a previous stream with all those notes. This latest one looks to fix, change how cerulean hidden tier effect worked. Also, it stopped some bosses from dying at unintended times. If you weren't sure, that was basically they were dying in a cutscene if they had a status effect on them, right? When's the Reforge Radio NFL Draft Special? I want to see Lono's mock draft. There are some text files as well, fixes as well, but the Malenia one is the big one. Let's see. Malenia's quick attacks leave the player little time to dodge. Perhaps more annoying than her attacks themselves is the fact that her hits will steal life from the player. This resulted in a bug that saw Malenia heal herself even when the players dodged. Taking down bosses in Elden Ring's co-op is one of the game's multiplayer features. And then it has the other bug fixes. I thought there was going to be like a full list of things. This is actually a pretty minor fix, so we'll just sort of serve as just I guess a banner and a headline for people that are looking for this and hoping that it gets fixed today. We will be here to relay that information to people. It is a new stream, so make sure you switch to live chat. Make sure you smash the like button. We are already at 50 likes. It'd be great to see 100 likes super fast on this stream. We did kind of throw this one together. I was hoping that there was a little bit more there. I thought that they were addressing like a laundry list of things. But the Malenia thing is the big thing. If you're unaware, the way that the fight works is she's extremely, rapid in her movements, extremely annoying. And lots of people don't like her. And when she hits you, she heals, right? Some people have even theorized that she was a Sekiro boss. Tomo is a character from Sekiro that was rumored and talked about, and people think that maybe Tomo was going to be a DLC boss, and this was something that they sort of pulled from that. Her movements, her sword, the way that she life steals and all those things would be something that you would see, from the Sekiro game. Was the 5-second mix psychic changed back to 10 seconds? I don't know. I've not seen anything about that, no. There's already a download on Steam for Elden Ring? Yeah. Yeah, it's a hotfix. I mean, they pushed it out late last night into today. Yeah, she wasn't healing correctly. So what was happening is they didn't say what it was, okay? They didn't say what it was. Thank you for showing the love on TikTok, Adam. I appreciate that. Psycho Hex says, I got you on my laptop through YouTube and on my cell phone on TikTok. You're the man. I appreciate that. Hey, we got 13 viewers over there. We're getting into double digits. That's good to see. Malenia would be a good boss if the waterfall dance is removed. Change my mind. Have you updated the game yet? I mean, I'll do it right now. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. A lot of people have said that animation would be great in Sekiro. It would fit with a lot of the Sekiro designs for deflection. And many people have said that, yeah, her waterfall thing that she does is pretty bad, and that they would like to see it changed or adjusted or whatever. Yeah, somebody said redirect didn't work well today. I was actually hoping it was going to work better. It's a little discouraging that they just updated the feature to give us more abilities, and they sadly. I saw more people today saying that it wasn't working. Update history. No, I don't need an update history. I need to check for an update. Oh, it's at the top. Check for an update. Go to downloads. There, it's downloading. So yeah, I'm downloading the update right now. We are going to do some Elden Ring gameplay today. This will probably be a slightly shorter talk show just to answer people's questions and let people know what exactly happened. Malenia would be a good boss if sorry. All right, chat, we got to bring it. We got to get something going here. We got to get a convo going here. It worked for me as usual, but it put me like 10 seconds behind. Redirect worked for me after not working for 2 weeks. We got to get a debate going. What about what Saxboy is saying, maybe? Wow, really? They want to change her that bad? Yes, there are people that think that she doesn't belong in the game. There are people that think that you should be able to ride a mount during the Elden Beast fight. There are people that think that she's basically a boss rip from Sekiro DLC. So if you're just tuning in, there was an Elden Ring Malenia patch. They fixed the bug that was causing her to heal even if she missed you. It was only happening in co-op, but it was extremely frustrating for people. This was reported almost immediately after the patch the other day from people like Let Me Solo Her, who were, immediately going in and trying to help people and experiencing a very, very weird desync problem where she was healing anyway. And so the idea, I think, was in many people's minds was she's actually hitting you. It's just that you're not seeing it, right? What was so critical about this boss that she needed a dedicated hotfix? The real question is, what did they do? Did they try and do something to this fight and it messed something up and they kind of got caught, right? Did they get caught trying to fiddle with Malenia and it caused this glitch or it caused this bug? That's the real question. Why would it mess with this fight in particular? Did they just do something that messed with desync and increased desync? And if so, why wouldn't you just say that, right? Malenia is a good boss, says Chapel. Her skill gap can be a bit high when you don't cheese the fight, but it is an optional fight. Vengeance says, I haven't fought her yet, but I've seen how stupid she is. Blueberry Puffin says, I'm hoping this changes the stability of multiplayer in general. I still get frequent disconnects and minor desync issues. I haven't tried the update yet. Right, what? That's the question. Did they just increase desync and the easiest way to see it was with Malenia's healing? Or was it across the game? You know what I'm saying? Malenia is better than Elden Beast. That thing embodies everything that is wrong about Elden Ring bosses. Short Change Hero says, bro, Torrent during the Elden Beast fight would be amazing. It feels like 3/4 of the fight, I'm just running from one side of the arena to the other. Now, I had people saying that in fights like that, you're not necessarily supposed to run from one side to the other. You might actually need to be analyzing where they might go. Like, are you supposed to stay on one side and sort of wait for them? You know what I mean? Is that what they are envisioning you doing? Like, you're not supposed to chase them. You're supposed to, analyze them from this, like, oh, I'm going to stay over here. And how do I mark as junk? Report spam. There we go. You know what I'm saying? There are people that have pushed back on my criticism of the Elden Beast fight and said it's about finding your place and not just running to them and waiting for them to move so that way you know where they're going. I don't know if anybody has done that fight and has taken that approach. And then, have they uploaded like a really, really good video about it in particular? Like, hey, here is the absolute best way to run Elden Beast. I mean, I know people have done no hits. They've gone through the whole game no hit. But my question is it one of those things where are they using cheese to no hit? Like, what exactly are they doing in that fight in particular? Because I've heard basically everyone saying that it's just one of those fights where you just do a lot of running. The point of the Elden Beast fight is that you are a threat to it. That's why it keeps running away from you. Well, I mean, I guess I get that. If I don't chase it, it will keep spamming his range attack, says Saxboy. Malenia isn't hard. Sure. The waterfall move does make it completely reevaluate the way I play the fight. Any other move I can dodge in a way that gives me an opening. I have to run and dodge twice. It's the speedrunners that give me that idea, says Eugene. Gives you what idea? Zubair says, do fans of all games critique bosses like this? It feels different in From games, like these crazy expectations are floating around. The video looks so much better on TikTok than YouTube for me, at least. Really? I mean, it's zoomed in. It's zoomed in, so you're getting to see a little bit more of me. It's a different style of stream. Are they suggesting that no other bosses are getting out of line? Furled finger, do it yourself. They have predicted movements. I'm not sure about that, says Short Change Hero. After these playthroughs, it seems like the Elden Beast doesn't move unless you chase it. And people say Ninja's fallen off. Yeah, he's got his merch up on a billboard. It's not a good indication of how you'd approach it the first time. So are you saying, Eugene, that you memorize where it goes and you go there instead of responding to it? Like, is that what you're saying? Is the Elden Beast super predictable? A lot of FromSoft boss movesets are based on reading player inputs and player location. Just waiting at a distance will get you spammed by range attacks if you don't move. You can dodge the waterfall move too. Oh, I know you can dodge it. I've seen people do it. Malenia isn't hard. She's BS. Radon pre-batch was hard but fair. Malenia is BS, says the KJC. So the KJC is saying it's not a matter of being hard. Malenia is kind of bull. It's kind of cheap. Zavi says, I like the Malenia fight. Waterfall dance is hard to avoid but very satisfying once you know how to do it. Bloodhound step helps a lot if you're struggling. Bloodhound step feels like a very, very... it's not like summoning, but it certainly feels like a very reliable sort of crutch. I don't want to call it a crutch. That sounds like I'm insulting people that use it. I used it like crazy, but it definitely doesn't require finesse. It can get you out of, it's kind of the out of the fire, jump out of the fire move if you need it. We need 8 more likes for the first 100 likes. Let's go. Let's get this thing going here. We're 15 minutes in. Let's see if we can't get this stream popping. Once you trigger his movement, his landing spot is predictable. His teleport through the ground is predictable, says Eugene. You have to be very specific on your dodge of the waterfall. Malenia was the only boss that really frustrated me, says Dinglenut. Elden Ring was my first FromSoft game, so I didn't have an experience to criticize any boss. I liked them all until the Elden Beast. So Saxboy went into this game basically non-FromSoftware, like basically a non-FromSoftware fan, basically blind, and felt that the Elden Beast was stupid. Eugene says, again, it's not something you'd pick up first try. What do I want to see in a future update? I would actually love to see. I think they've made really good changes. I think patch 1.04 really made some of the slowness that was there for some of the weapons and some of the builds. They addressed that, and that was something that I consistently criticized. I was loving the Radon swords until I got into the back half of the game, the back third of the game, and it was like the rhythm in the game was terrible for swords that were Radon size. I was like, this is truly awful. Like I can't. You felt like you were constantly trading. And so I think the changes that they made were really, really good recently. I would actually love to see them do, something along the lines of just content at this point. That would be what I would love to see, Barrier says, I had the same experience as Saxboy. So how many people played this game and it was your first FromSoft game? I want to know. We have a word for people that aren't FromSoft fans. We call them sane people. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. If you're watching on TikTok and you never chimed in, I'd love to hear from you. We've been getting some periodic little surges over there. Eugene says, I also think these games are intended to be played multiple times and bosses are completely mastered by playing multiple times. Right. I think the spectacle of the Elden Beast is 10 out of 10, but the actual fight's a solid 3 out of 10. It's just doo-doo. Mick D09 says, I wish we got 2 phases of Radagon instead of 1. And 1 phase of Elden Beast. Radagon is such a great end game fight. I think he looks cool and has great presence. I think I would agree with that. Okay, we got people saying here, I never played and I'm still working my way through, says Chest Pain. Mrs. Bloodhound says, my first FromSoftware game too. Chris says, this is my first FromSoft game. S2 Ramirez says, this is my first FromSoft game. Slow Mobius, first FromSoft game for me. Elden Ring is my first FromSoft game, says Sam Mudd. I love it, and I'm on New Game Plus now. Elden Beast is not tough, but just annoying is my criticism. I kind of felt like that a lot in the end game. I was like, a lot of these fights don't feel all that challenging. They just kind of feel like they're a nuisance. They're annoying. It was like the imps. It was like they just run away from you. They're not actually hard. They're just irritating. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a big difference between a boss that is really hard and one that is irritating. Radagon? It's Radagon. Dan says first FromSoft. It wasn't my first, but it was my first since Dark Souls. Oscar says, my first time playing, I'm on my second character. I like seeing that, man. Shut the blank up about Rivers of Blood. That's good, Fuzzy. I hope in the future, if they added torrent and zoom out camera to make the Elden Beast better. I can't see them ever doing that. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think they would ever do that? Will they ever let you ride your mount? Will they ever let you ride torrent in the Elden Beast fight? I don't know about that. Is a bleed bug during boss's second phase fixed? Yes, Tyler. Thanks for being here, by the way, if you guys are tuning in for the information. Elden Ring Malenia patch. They fixed the issue where she was healing even if she missed you. They have also fixed the issue with bosses just taking tons of damage and dying if you had a status effect on them during their, like, second phase cutscene. That has been addressed as well. So I downloaded the hotfix. I downloaded the update. I've got it on my system, on my PS5. We will be playing here shortly. We wanted to give people the information in the news and cover it very quickly. If you could control the camera, I would blow up from base approaches to combat, though. Oh, it would blow up from base approach to combat. No, I don't think so. I don't agree with that at all. This idea that, like, the base of their combat is centered around, like, clunky, not so great camera. I don't think so. The camera works fine most of the time. There are circumstances where it gets really, really bad. And I think those circumstances are something that they could fix when it presents itself. I just think they choose not to. You could adjust camera interacting with small rooms. You could adjust camera interacting with obstacles, and they just choose not to. They just let it go. They let it ride. What's up? Wabi Sabi says, I doubt it will happen. Yeah, I don't see them pushing out an update where they're like, hey, you can use your mount now in the Elden Beast fight. Because in general, the funny thing about the mount, my experience with Elden Ring gameplay, beginning to end, beating the whole game, is that the mount becomes literally just a vehicle of getting around. It's not really, it seems like it's going to be like a major part of the story or something, and it quite literally is a motorcycle. Like it's the Days Gone motorcycle. It's just how you're getting from place to place. It doesn't seem like as central of a figure, which that's what a lot of people were saying. They're like, it would kind of make sense to sort of bring the mount back into the picture for the final fight. Hey, you made it all the way to the end, and this is what you're going to need to fight this final boss. You know, hop on your mount. I don't know. Torrent supported you through the journey. It makes sense if he's there for the last battle. In this frenzied flame ending, Malenia picks up Torrent's burnt whistle to show how he betrayed Torrent. Right. Yeah, I got the frenzied flame ending. Yeah, and she picks it up and, like, feels like you betrayed Torrent. Like, there's an element of the story there. You know what I mean? Using the mount becomes so high risk and fewer rewards in later areas. Well, yeah, because so many enemies hit you once, and then after they hit you once, they go wham, and then they go wham, 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 and it's like boom, and then you're on the ground and stunned and taking tons of damage. So, yeah, there's not, I found it to be annoying. It was like literally just a motorcycle. It was like, all right, get on the motorcycle, get to where I need to go, and then hop off is what it starts to feel like. That's not necessarily a problem, but it doesn't really convey what I thought it was going to convey. Magic Goat Pony deserves better than to be called a motorcycle. I wouldn't use Torrent during Elden Beast anyway. Horseback combat felt clunky to me. Oh, I love horseback combat in the dragon fights. It takes a minute to get used to, but I like it. What happened to Malenia? Welcome on in. If you're tuning in for the Elden Ring Malenia patch, they fixed a bug. She was kind of bugged last week with the 1.04 patch that got pushed out. Anybody who was playing co-op, the non-host support player was dodging her attacks and she was healing anyway. This was either some form of a desync issue or they did something specifically with her fight that was increasing desync, where she would swing at you and miss, but on the host server or the host game, I guess she was hitting you and registering the heal. I like the Revenants even more now after fighting one in a little box, but I'm strange. Yeah, anybody that types the sentence, I like the Revenants even more now after fighting them in a little box. Yeah, you need to seek help. The Revenants are awful. They're the worst enemy in the game, without question. Same with Renala. I didn't have any issue with Renala. I liked Renala. I would use Torrent to close the gap and then jump off to do damage and then jump back off once it retreats. The light skin Morphe says it still doesn't make any sense. What still doesn't make sense? Magic and summoning spamming little bee. Love her. Yeah, man. She's great. I think she's great. Same with Renala. Oh, you like her. Yeah, I thought she was dope. I mean, I whooped the tar out of her, but Slappy McSlap Slap? Yeah, you're right. I hate Slappy McSlap Slap. I mean, I used colorful language on Twitter about him. Slappy McSlapby is what I called him on Twitter. You know? Yeah, but you summoned? No, I didn't summon it, Renala. No, I didn't. I beat the tar out of her with the Bloodhound. Yeah, I wasn't summoning a lot back then. I didn't summon when I beat her. I beat her my second try without summoning. I beat Margaret and Godric summoning, but her I actually didn't feel the need to. Because it was like my second try, and I just felt like I was in a groove, so I didn't do it. Adam says on TikTok, I'm not a Souls-like player, but I don't know if I want to try this game out. It's a tough game, man. It is a tough game. Malenia says, who is Ishin? Ishin's way harder than her. Get the frick out of here. Ishin is something special. She's not. Renala is easy if you keep her stunned. Yeah, I just absolutely smacked her down like she had no posture, so I just kept hitting her. I just kept wailing on her with the Bloodhound. All this time, and I thought the best fights were the ones with the huge boss in a little cave room. Ooh. Who cares if people summon or not? Shut up and quit gatekeeping your proper way to play. FromSoft put in the game so people can use it. No. He wasn't gatekeeping. He wasn't gatekeeping. He knows that I played the game and very, very heavily in the second half summoned and found a lot of the boss fights to be very unenjoyable for that reason. I don't find summoning to be that enjoyable. It's the difference between summoning and not summoning is too great, right? Bosses dying to bleed was the bigger issue. Then the Malenia thing, yes. Bosses dying, the most recent bug where they would like die if they had a status effect on them while they were in the cutscene, yes, that was a bigger deal. That needed patched for sure. I'm not gonna fight about that. But the issue that I had with the game on the back half of it when I was basically summoning, I summoned Tiche for the final third of the game. Tiche literally killed Malekith for me. Tiche practically killed Malenia for me. You know, to me, the difference between summoning and not summoning is so massive that's why I'm doing a non-summons playthrough. Not because I'm a purist and look down on people that summoned. I summoned like crazy my first playthrough. To any new players, wait for more updates to fix Elden Ring so the balancing is better. Yeah, I don't know about that. The balancing doesn't seem that bad. I guess summoning only bosses. Oh, do like an entire run when you only summon? Wait, are you saying that I only summon as in I let the summon kill the boss? I don't think that might not be possible. Because you'd have to do damage to the boss. Because if you never draw aggro, the boss would kill your Jelly Boy. Like your first major boss fight is Margit, and if you use the Jelly Boy there and you never once hit Margit, he would just eventually kill the jelly. The jellyfish couldn't survive. You'd have to be able to hit the boss to draw aggro. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it would work because in general, what you end up doing in those fights is Jelly Boy helps draw aggro, but you have to draw aggro too, or he'll just get absolutely wailed on. And he's tanky, but he's not tanky enough to survive 2 phases of Margit. Keep healing the summon. Can you heal the summon that early in the game against Margit? I mean, I guess you could go get stuff. I was helping a friend with the fire giant, and we got to the second phase, and then boom, insta-dead. Same with the Godskin duo. It didn't bother me, because I hate those 2 bosses. It's called the Pacifist Run, I think. They did this already with summon-only killing bosses. Really? Pure melee with some of these Ashes of War is just ridiculous fun, no summon required. I am doing, if you guys are tuning in and you're looking for information about the Elden Ring Malenia patch, We'll get you the info. They fixed the bug where she was healing even if she missed you. They also fixed the bug where bosses were dying during their cutscene. So make sure and smash that like button. Subscribe if you want to talk in chat. We're also kind of debating about our favorite and least favorite bosses, things we might change if we could, people that hate Malenia, people that hate the Elden Beast, people that want to be able to use their mount during the Elden Beast, things like that. You can draw aggro without hitting. You can just... Oh, right, Seamus. So somebody has already done a totally summons only run. They basically beat every boss in the game and they let the summons do all of it. Give me 1 second. Shane? Oh, I don't care. Somebody shamed my wife. She makes me a quesadilla most days for my lunch, and somebody shamed her in the Discord for using a microwave. So today she put it in the skillet. It smells good. It looks good, too. The first one died. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Clap for You says, I'm having a blast doing a magic run. It's great. First run is pure melee as possible, says Eugene. I haven't really been using ashes except for to change stat scaling. I really, really liked when I used it on that ghost in that room. What was that dungeon? That black ghost that was like making me bleed? That was such a great clip where I was like, I think I can just use the ash on them. It chunks them. I hit them with it, 3 times and they were dead. Because I broke their posture, and the posture break that allowed me to do the critical. Oh, that was so satisfying. That boss is so annoying. Let me open my map at any time, please. I hate it. Yes, not being able to open your map when you've drawn some aggro is a little irritating. Diaz says, that's like my wife when she asked if I wanted a grilled cheese, and I saw she started to open the microwave. I said, no, thank you. I'll make one later. The cemetery shade. Yeah. You have to experiment with them. Some of them are amazing, says Brandon. There is one that heals a ridiculous amount of your HP if you connect an attack. Lame gamer complaints, learn to fight. Lame YouTube comment, learn to have a conversation. Real question, says Derek. Is the late game on your first playthrough? About how many times could you heal in one boss fight before you were on your last leg? On my first playthrough, well, usually I was summoning Tiche, so I would heal until I ran out of flasks sometimes. There were times where I literally ran out of flasks. I was healing the whole dadgum time. Sorry about the double ask. You're good. I think a great feature to add is bring back the ability to upgrade armor. It was in Dark Souls 1 and in Demon Souls. It's missing in the Souls games, and Dark Souls 2 would be great for FromSoftware. Yeah, it did seem weird that they didn't do anything with the armor. It really did. It seemed odd. A glitchless any percent by Star O Chris has a very good Elden Beast fight. Okay. It's mind-blowing to see how other gamers experience things. You realize just how ignorant the majority of players are. Is it hard to breathe with how far up you are above humanity? Like, what's the oxygen like up there? Like, I've never met somebody that's just so unashamedly arrogant and looking down on us. Like, we're not up there at the greatness that you've achieved. So I'm just curious, like, is it hard to breathe up there? I'm not sure, right? I've never been quite that arrogant. I don't think. I mean, I think everybody struggles with a little bit of arrogance, but you've definitely spent a lot of skill points in that skill tree. I air fry grilled cheese and quesadillas now. It's amazing. That's kind of what I meant. How many flasks can you carry? What's the maximum number of flasks you can carry if you get all the things? Is it... And you can allot between the blue and the red. I can affirm the air's thinner up here. How dare you, says Zubair. I'm here every day trying to be arrogant, and you give this new guy the prize? 14? Okay, yeah, 14's the max. Yeah. I was usually, I think near the end game, was I around, I want to say I was at 12. I want to say I was around 10 or 12. I think. I don't remember. Because I think New Game Plus I rolled over and did it a couple more times, and then it was like, you're at the maximum, and it wouldn't let me do it anymore. He's damaged from the lack of air. Yeah. The idea that we're all dumb and ignorant and stupid and just complaining and not as good as you. Like, my goodness, you must not get invited to any parties. I'm leaving. This stream isn't good enough for me. Also, Zelda games are for children. 14, which is a weird number. It is kind of a weird number. A little bit. If you guys are enjoying the stream, do me a favor and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you want to talk in the chat. We always love meeting new members of the From Software community. I keep it safe for work. I am currently working on a No Summons playthrough that we will be getting to shortly. We hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Malenia patch. They fixed the bug. The latest Elden Ring update addressing that issue with her, also addressing the issue of bosses dying during their cutscene if they had a status effect on them. Let us know what you think in the chat. Every Friday on this channel is From Friday, dedicated to covering Elden Ring or other From Software news, and then playing a From Software game. I am sort of a new From Software game convert. Before Elden Ring came out, I did one playthrough of Dark Souls 3. We didn't do everything. We didn't do all of the optional bosses, and we also did Sekiro. I think Sekiro is the most pure with respect to its combat system, but I think Elden Ring is my favorite out of the three, even though I have pretty sharp criticisms about certain elements of Elden Ring, especially in the end game, the overabundance of combos, speed, agility, and AoE. I think it gets a little long in the tooth in the late game of Elden Ring, but I still think it's my favorite between the three. You know what's good enough for me? This delicious dark roast. Yeah, if you want to support the stream directly, we do have memberships. $5 a month gets you access to my extra content. If you ever want to ask me like spicy questions that are unrelated or maybe off topic about games, you can save that for the Thursday members only stream. And Friday nights, we do sometimes community game night or streams with my wife. It's a blast. If you're a fan of Elden Ring and we get to 500 members on this channel before April is up, my wife has to play Elden Ring. She's constantly teasing me about the game, okay? So we need like 40 more members and then she has to play, all right? We don't have a lot of time left in April, all right? You got today and then you got today and the next 2 days, all right? To hit that goal. That's a great membership goal. Make my wife play Elden Ring. It'll be some of the greatest content ever. She gives me so much guff about the game and not being good. Did you hear the writer for the Expanse series is working on the From Software game, the next Armored Core? No, I've not heard that. We covered the Armored Core leaks when they happened. Why is Elden Ring your favorite? I've never heard a criticism of Sekiro from you. I think Sekiro is perfect at what it does, but the lack of open world and build diversity I don't like. There's something pure about Sekiro. You either beat Ishin or you don't. You don't go in there over leveled. You can't face tank him. You can't like build to beat Ishin. Right? Ishin literally carves you out of stone and you come out on the other end a different person. Okay? But the issue with the lack of build diversity in open world, my personal preference is I absolutely love that aspect of Elden Ring. So and the open world really wins a lot of points with me. It really does. Exploring the open world of Elden Ring is the best open world game I've ever played. Prior to this game, the best open world game I ever played was either between Breath of the Wild or Assassin's Creed Origins. Those were like my two favorite open world games. And Ghost of Tsushima, I don't think of that as an open world game, but Ghost of Tsushima was amazing. But I don't like it because it's open world. I like it because of the story and the combat and the characters. and what Tsushima does as a game. Like as a work of art. Ghost of Tsushima is up there, but I don't think of Ghost of Tsushima as like an open world game, right? Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah, I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was kind of blah because the combat was weak. I felt like the combat was sloppy in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's the best open world period. The Witcher 3 is my close second, right? So my criticisms of Sekiro sometimes stem from, really narrow lack of teaching. It's a very narrow game that doesn't do a good job of teaching you certain things. I think if the guy at the beginning, the guy that you can like practice on, the guy that the guy that you can keep killing, I think if he did a better job teaching you some of the basics of like the difference between a boss that has less posture if you do health damage, or takes more health damage if you do posture damage. Like that spectrum, they don't do a great job explaining that. They didn't do a great job of explaining certain things. Like, they explain it to you and it's at a bad time. You can't really test it out. So I think there's elements of Sekiro that would have been better if they would have done a better job with that stuff. I don't know. But I definitely think the combat system in Sekiro is pure. There is something absolutely pure about it. That also is one of the things that turns some people off from it. They feel that it's not a true FromSoft game or whatever. It doesn't have the build diversity. It doesn't have the customization. Always chasing that Sekiro feeling. It's why I don't use anything that seems cheap. Right. The amount of value you get with Elden Ring is crazy. I put in almost 200 hours in my first playthrough. Zubair says, that's what I was asking earlier. FromSoft fans talk about their games in such a weird way. It made me cry. I love it. I find it so weird. Hate this game. Bad bosses. 9 out of 10. Well, think of it this way. This might be tough for you to relate to, Zubair, but if you've ever worked out and gone to a gym and Oh golly. Anyway, if you've ever gone through I can't continue. If you have ever gone through any sort of physical fitness training, you going to the gym, going through workouts, kind of beating your body into, a machine, okay? You would say, I absolutely hate this workout. I absolutely hate my trainer. And yet you love them. And yet you love what the workouts give you, okay? So I think there is something about Elden Ring, or there's something about FromSoft games that gives you this experience that you just can't get in other games. And you grit your teeth, and you hate it, and you scream, and you get angry, but you come out of the other end, and you're like, I'm going back in there tomorrow. Right? I'm going back in tomorrow. I want to be put through that again. That was really, really enjoyable. That was something that I really, really enjoyed. It's like, again, you come out on the other end, and you really feel this sense of, I really cannot wait to do that again. It absolutely was terrible and murder, and I hate it, and yet I'm going to play again tomorrow. Like, you wouldn't go back, you know what I mean? You wouldn't go back and do it again if it didn't give you that sense of achievement, if it didn't give you that sense of accomplishment, if it didn't do that. It's the same way with the gym, right? It's murder while you're doing it. It hurts your muscles, it's burning, you're struggling to breathe, you're cussing at the trainer in your head or out loud. And then you get home and you're sore and you prop your feet and you think, man, I'm doing that again tomorrow, man. This is worth it. In my opinion, the level design of something like Dark Souls 1 was way more rewarding and fun than the open world of Elden Ring. Plus, I have Elden Ring. I hate the Elden Ring bosses. A lot of not fun stuff. Well, I do think there's been some good criticism about that. Like the open world in Elden Ring. I will say this. This is a valid criticism of the Elden Ring map or the world itself, okay? I actually think this is pretty valid. They do a lot of repeat and a lot of copy-paste, and I think that's worthy of criticism. There's a couple of dungeon designs and boss fights in the dungeons that are so blatantly copy-paste. It's like, that takes away from the open world feel. That doesn't quite feel the way that you would want it to feel as an open world game, okay? Now, you consider that against the backdrop of the absolute immaculate use of the maps and the capital in Dark Zone 1 and 3. When I say capital, I mean they're getting great use out of their capital. every square inch of everything they ever built in those games is utilized brilliantly. The retreading, the shortcuts, the denseness of the maps, and how you're like, oh my gosh, I'm right back at the beginning again. This is so incredible. That sense, okay, that sense that you get in FromSoftware games, the brilliant use of map design and denseness and winding paths and shortcuts, it is worthy of praise and emulation, to be honest. The emulation of that, you get a sense of that in some of the areas in Elden Ring, in some of the castles, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. You get a sense of that sometimes in the dungeons or even the cave systems. There's elements of that whispering through the design. But I do think it's fair to say, yeah, if you prize that, yeah, it's way better in the other games. They do a much better job of this. They do a much better job of creating that sense of going in and discovery and winding paths, and the amazing dense use of capital in the former FromSoftware games it's worthy of praise and emulation. You might say it's not in Elden Ring enough. You might say that, right? While I was gone, it was reported that the new PS Store team will create all the demos, and if it's true, I must say I admit that I went a little overboard. I don't like the paywall, though. Yeah, the news is coming out that Sony is going to handle the trials and the developers don't have to. Yes. MJ says, I used to think that FromSoftware players had some weird fetish. I couldn't understand why you would willingly put yourself through so much pain, and then I played Sekiro, and then Demon's Souls, and then Elden Ring. Yeah, exactly. You get a taste for it. The open world itself is pretty copy-paste, but that's normal, like the ruins and the churches and the towers. Brandon says, I don't mind copy-paste as much as when they change attack patterns. A good example would be the many variations of the Tree Sentinel. I kind of like that, though. Open world I put most hours into. Fallout 4, no contest. Open world I had the most fun in and was sad when it ended. Phoenix Rising. Yeah, Immortals Phoenix Rising was so good. It was so good. Open world that I rage quit. Control. Oh, you rage quit Control? I love Control. It was real mysterious and really confusing, but it was also just, I thought it was awesome. The open world's my favorite part of the game. Elden Ring? Mm-hmm. Dark Souls 1 is the best one. I think everything up to O and S in Dark Souls 1 is top tier and some of the best in gaming history. It all goes downhill from there. Bed of Chaos, Seath, Naito, and Four Kings. It only gets good again with Gwyn. What specifically are you talking about? I'd watch you run around the open world in Elden Ring all day. Bring in a boss and I'm out. Well, some of that's because of how angry I got in the bosses. We're obviously trying to curb that down. Like, I accidentally did a no-hit on that tree guy the other day. It was awesome. TikTok needs to figure out what the frick they're doing, by the way. I posted that fight on TikTok. It's literally just got in-game audio and sound, and they muted the video. They're like, it appears you have music playing that you shouldn't have. I'm like, it's literally music from the game. What are you doing, TikTok? What are you doing? They're literally flagging, they're literally muting videos if you have your own music in them. Hey, we're up to 16 viewers on TikTok, man. Thanks for hanging out today over there, guys. Thanks for smashing like and maybe following. We're going to be streaming every day over there as well on YouTube. If you want to see my gameplay, though, you got to go to youtube.com/Reforge Gaming. Reforge Gaming is where we play the games. I can't show games on TikTok. We're not set up for it. It's not that. I just love the open world visuals and sound. Oh, yeah, the open world music is awesome, especially because you get into different areas and biomes and it, like, changes. I've talked it over with accounting, and we've decided that after the last few days of you griefing me, you will need to buy me a membership, $5 a month. I've really thrown Zubair off on his game. It took him a long time for that comeback. It took him a while. I think I'm really throwing him off. Chest Pain says, do Elden Ring bosses show you limited movesets on your first run and then change it all next runs, making you feel like you're going backwards? I swear they do. I swear to frick that the first time you fight a boss, they limit the moveset and the aggression. I swear to you they do. And then the next time you go in, it's way harder and crazy. I don't know why. It could literally be my imagination, but I swear to you, hand on my heart. Hand on my heart. Oh, stop it, Mama. She came in and said, title your sex tape and distracted me. Hand on my heart. Get out of here. Hand on my heart. I swear to you they do that. The first time you go into the room, they have like a very limited move set and they're less aggressive. And you get real close to one-shotting it. And then after that, they turn the heat up. I thought Godfrey got way more aggressive at times. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it's limited moves, but I had this thought the other night. They're easier the first try. It may just be more caution. It'd be interesting to measure it. It'd be really, really interesting to measure it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep the criticisms down for sure. For sure. They lure you in with hope, and then they punch you in the face. Would you play any older FromSoftware games like Armored Core, Quan, Tenchu? I don't know about that nowhere. I mean, we had planned to go back into older FromSoftware games on From Friday. So if you've never been here before, every Friday is From Friday where we cover FromSoft games and play them. And we were thinking about going back to Dark Souls 1, and potentially play through like the optional bosses in Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2 and Demon Souls. I don't know. We'll see. Going back that far might not be worth it. You got to understand something about YouTube. You can't be super self-indulgent. You can't like go back and play super old, outdated games that no one is looking for, because you will literally achieve nothing with your time. You know what I mean? Play Dark Souls 1, I've been asking you since Kingsfall. As a player, there is definitely a sense of hubris. I figured it out, and that confidence leads to failure. I can't tell you the number of noses I talked to. 10% health the first try, I die, and then I spend 7 more times fighting a more aggressive boss. We have some great titles for From Friday. Oh, we have some great stuff coming for From... Oh, dadgummit. We have some great stuff coming for From Friday, as well as some great titles for what we may call Almost From Friday as well. Yeah, like Lies of P. Yeah. Lies of P, Black Myth Wukong, and Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. This Elden Ring playthrough is going to be very long anyways. Yeah, a No Summons playthrough is going to take me a really long time. Yeah, I've just decided I don't like this person. I don't like people that do that. In my opinion, if you're going to play the Souls games, Dark Souls 1 is a non-negotiable. Noses, if I'm looking at the keyboard, I think he was trying to spell times. I think he was trying to say, I can't tell you the number of times I go into a fight and that happens. This dude walked in, didn't even hit her once, and blanking died. I love Soul players so much. Let her solo me. Yeah, that's the troll. It's not let me solo her, it's let her solo me. That's the guy that trolls. The final boss in Kana on normal difficulty was pretty close to my limit. So I know From games aren't my bag. Yeah, Kana can get people into Souls. Like Jedi Fallen Order got me into Sekiro. Madame Butterfly was the reason I left. We should send Lono some Omaha ribeyes to go back and fight the Prime Owl and the Demon of Hatred in Sekiro. Omaha ribeyes? I can go to a butcher and get ribeyes. Why would I want those? Jacob says, in Dark Souls 1, after the second boss, you make the ladder go down to the checkpoint before the boss. You can go up, and the fire eliminates all enemies. Go to the bonfire, save, repeat, equals a Souls farm. Why would you do that? If you're just tuning in, we're covering the Elden Ring Malenia patch, or Malenia patch. They fixed the bug that was happening with her. They also fixed the bug where bosses were dying. Bosses were dying if they had a cutscene and they had a status effect on them during the cutscene. So that has also been fixed. Daggone it. I have the tiniest cut on my arm. It's the tiniest thing, and I accidentally scratched it open. And you would think that someone stabbed me with a knife, like someone sliced my arm with a knife. It's like, gee, many Christmas. If you've never been here before, we do a video game talk show Monday through Friday. I am safe for work. If you are subscribed and I've not been showing up in your recommended feed, be sure to check your subscriptions feed and my YouTube channel. We do 2 talk shows a day most times, as well as gameplay. Every Friday's From Friday. We talk From Software. We play From Software. I am working on a no summons playthrough, which we will be switching to in just a brief moment. Mortal Shell was sneaky great. I loved it. Does Elden Ring have the fake boss death? Not necessarily just the second phase, but making you think the dead boss. Oh, like the stupid headless ape in Sekiro? I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Did they do that in this game ever? Was there ever a moment where we did that, where we killed a boss, they laid down, and it made it seem like it was over, and then they got back up? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if one did that or not. There's plenty of second phases. There's plenty of second phases in this game. But I don't necessarily know if... I don't necessarily know if it is a... If it's as extreme as that, because that I remember everybody kept talking about the monkey, and then I killed him and he laid down, and I was like, yeah, he's not dead. I'm not freaking stupid. Like I knew what was coming. It was like, there's no way people hyped up this fight this much, and he's just laying on the ground now. No friggin' way. No friggin' way, man. Some bosses hit phase 2 at 50% health, and some do phase 2 after the health bar is deleted. So kind of. There are YouTube compilations of gamers who thought Malenia was over after the first phase. That's just cruel, man. You're just enjoying people's pain. I mean, I guess watching somebody play a FromSoftware game quite literally is that, so... That is like quite literally what it is. You're like, I love seeing people in pain. I take great pleasure from it. I saw a streamer who spent 9 hours beating Malenia her first phase and thought it was finally over. Oh no! I remember playing Sekiro for the very first time, and I put it down after this. I was playing Madame Butterfly, and I was getting real frustrated, and I finally killed her. And she got back up. And it was so demoralizing. It was so demoralizing. I never went back. I finally went back like years later. Years later, because we launched From Fridays. I went back. She hurt me. She hurt me deep, bro. Isn't that why we all show up for From Friday? Yeah, she hurt me real deep, man. It literally was. It was spiritually satisfying to kill her. It was spiritually satisfying to kill her. I pray about that. So I'm just kidding. I don't do that. I do not do that. I watch my Madam Butterfly kill sometimes as part of my morning devotions, you know. It's real. How long was your ever longest wait until moment? Oh, hey, the developers of that game of Shattered. They tweeted at me. No problem. Really enjoyed it. They said, hey, Reforge Gaming, thanks for covering your game on your First Look channel. The publisher and developer who made Shattered. They tweeted at me on Twitter. That was really nice of them. I had another developer reach out to me about a game that they want me to play on stream. We all feed on tragedy. It's like blood to a vampire, vicariously. I live while the whole world dies. Much better you than I. Why can't we just admit it? Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what it is. Butterfly, Owl, and Ishin are super satisfying to beat. Yeah. Yeah. When you beat Ishin, you're a different person afterward. Seriously. My longest wait until moment, Derek, I meant to answer you. It was definitely Ishin. I might have said that. I was kind of on autopilot and doing a bunch of different things. My biggest wait until moment was Ishin. A 5-hour fight. It was a 5-hour fight. I thought that Shattered gameplay looked really decent too. If you are a FromSoftware fan and you have a PlayStation, you should check out Shattered. It's actually a really good little game. 30 bucks, I think. Very Souls-like. Very good little game. You should definitely check them out. Shattered, Tale of the Forgotten King. You should definitely check that one out, man. It was, I was enjoying it. That's definitely one I would go back to. I was enjoying it. We were a little late on streaming it though. We put it on First Look instead of streaming it. That's what our First Look channel is good for. Is if you're looking for a quick first glance at something, our First Look channel is there. Okay. I figured the butterfly boss would be the longest wait until because it was years coming. Yeah, I mean, there was an element of like, I just decided that those games weren't for me. I'm on the Ishin fighting Sekiro and he's got 4 phases. Oh, yeah. Lono, my wallet is asking you to stop checking out cool new games. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. That was a good one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was excellent. The fire giant ticked me off. TJ was useless in that fight. She wouldn't attack him. I accidentally cheesed the fire giant. I got like right up in between his cheeks, and it was over for him, man. It was over for him. He just kind of laid there. People were like, what did you just do? I was like, I don't know. I killed him, though. You know? You want a long-haired kitten? I love cats, man, but I can't take the hair. It drives me absolutely insane. Like, we love Jack, but the hair and I could actually literally deal with litter boxes before hair. Like, the litter boxes take care of them and throw them out when you're supposed to, and it's fine. But the dadgum hair, I can't take. She'd be a great boss if they took her out of the game. Her and all her BS garbage bosses. This game is loaded with them. You think Elden Ring is loaded with BS bosses? I wouldn't have purchased a PS5 if it wasn't for this jerk. I was doing fine, and then I saw Ghost of Tsushima, and it ruined my life. Long-haired cats are better. The KJC says, do you think the Elden Ring DLC will have something to do with Miquella? I feel like he was such a non-factor in the game with how important he's supposed to be in the lore. I don't even know how I'm supposed to say that. Is it Miquella or Miquella? I felt guilt and a bit of shame for not buying Elden Ring yet. You should. Yeah, you should. I mean, if there's one thing I fight for, it's guilt, shame, and that drives you to, to change your behavior. I'm just kidding. Tell your kitty I said pss, 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 pss. Long-haired dogs, the same usually. Like, the hypoallergenic dogs are really nice. They're soft. They have hair, instead of fur. You saved me like $100 on games I chose not to buy and made me spend over $1,000 on systems and games I suddenly wanted to buy. Okay. It's Miquella. Okay. I think I'm saying it right then. Lono didn't even see Miquella in his first playthrough. Yeah, I didn't fight Mog. I didn't see Miquella. Do you fight Miquella? Could we get 30 more likes on this video? It's going to be a quick one. We just combed over the Elden Ring Malenia patch. So make sure and hit the like button. Make sure and hit subscribe. We are getting ready to switch over to my non-summons playthrough. And I am literally right outside of Margot's room. So if you're looking for some great gameplay of somebody making the game, significantly harder on themselves, stick around. We're getting ready to make that change. And, appreciate all of the new subscribers today. We're about 9 subs away from a milestone, so thank you for that. And thanks for pressing the like button. Like milestones on the video actually help the video, so we need about 25 more now. Oh, he's with Moog. Oh, that's why I didn't see him then. I watched a very funny vid on YouTube today. Jason Momoa reacting to and supporting Johnny and laughing at Amber. Was it real or did somebody mash it up? Miquella. Miquella, he's a killer. Miquella is Malenia's twin brother. Okay. Baby boy Moog. Ugh. It was abducted by Moog from Malenia. They should make Elden Ring merit badges. Like, this is my melee only run badge. That's right. They send it to you in the mail with a little card that's like, are you okay? Do you need therapy? Do you need therapy after that? Moog has a mechanic that you need to figure out on your own, but once you do, it's extremely cleverly done. You only see his hand after Moog. I think the DLC should center around him, considering how unimportant he was in the actual game. You people would get together and compare your sash full of badges. Oh, that'd be all over Reddit. It'd be a whole thing. Show us your sash. Show your sash Saturday. I couldn't stop cracking up yesterday when Amber's lawyer objected to himself. And that guy's a mess. He's a freaking mess, bro. He asked the question. The guy starts answering. He's like, objection, hearsay. She's like, you asked the question. He's like, oh, and he He got so flustered. I don't want to talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, but that clip, it's comedy gold. I don't care who you support or like in that situation. I don't really care. That is comedy gold. My man objected to his own question. That is just brilliant. I'm sorry, it's Miquella. Stress the me. She says it a few times in the game. Oh, really? It's real redaction as he's sitting in a yard and she punched. Oh, it's a real reaction It's a real reaction. He's sitting in a yard and she punched a wall. Jason turns, was this the wall? Laughing hard and commenting on what Johnny says. Nice seeing honest support and critique. The funny thing was, it's perfectly normal, still funny. Wait, so you can ask... Eugene and Zubair, like our resident lawyers. Can you ask a question and then object to the answer and have it like stricken? Is that like a thing? So you say, hey, what were you doing that Friday night? And they answer and they say a bunch of stuff and you say, objection, Your Honor, this needs to be stricken. This is all hearsay. Like, can you do that? Is that essentially what he was doing? It flustered him for sure, which made it funny. It made it really funny. Objection. You asked the question. He was like, huh? What? What'd I do? It's like, he was like a little boy. Yeah, I'm not even a lawyer, but wouldn't it be strike? Strike would be the more proper. Yeah, can we have that stricken from the record? Yeah, I've seen enough movies to know that you want the answer stricken. You're not objecting to the question or the answer. You're asking for a strike. You're like, no, that can't go in. That can't be part of the consideration. Yeah. All right, hey, you guys that are watching on TikTok, we're about to boot up some gameplay, all right? And when I switch to gameplay, I can't bring you with me, all right? So thanks for watching on TikTok. You're amazing. Make sure you're following me here if you like these talk shows. Head over to youtube.com/Reforge Gaming. If you're in the audience on YouTube, don't go anywhere. We're going to switch over to gameplay, all right? Okay. The judge's response made it better. Her little stutter. Yeah. So good. There's a game called Dinosaur Fossil Hunter coming out, chat. Duke it out in a mech game. No thanks. No thanks. Okay. All right, this was a short and sweet stream, but we gotta do some gameplay because this patch is not it's not pulling like we were hoping that it would, and that's totally fine. This one could have been an absolute dadgum home run. It might catch as a VOD, honestly. It might catch as a VOD because people are really going to care about this. Let's change my cam border back to the cool Elden Ring one. Get myself up here. Okay. I'll get you guys a link. So you've been sleeping on the combat Ashes of War. I'll start using my Ash of War more. This is gonna be a tough fight without summons though. I was doing a pretty good job against him the other day. Or yeah, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. Alright. Get that tweet out. Okay. Elden Ring live gameplay. No summons. Playthrough. This is our part 3. We'll utilize redirect. Okay. Staggers in like 2 to 3. All right, that link in chat is just in case redirect doesn't work. Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is going to be Elden Ring live gameplay, no summons playthrough part 3. We're having a much better time with the game now. Part 1 got a little shaky. I addressed that at the beginning of part 2. Talked about my approach with the anger and the rage. We also changed our build a little bit, and that was a huge help. Going with a straight sword made a big difference. You'll notice I'm right outside of Mr. Margot's room. We almost beat him first try last time. Well, it wasn't first try, but like with the new build, it was my first try. We have played him before. And we did address and talk about the Elden Ring Malenia patch, the bug that fixed her patch. I'm going to bring people over from that stream. It was a little bit of a shorter stream, and we appreciated